Hi, everyone. I'm Kirsten. I am the SVP of Accounts here at Direct Results.
And I'm Lara, the SVP of Partnerships and Strategy. And we're so excited to have you here with us for our very first episode of Unmuted with Kiki and Loo. Every week on Unmuted, we'll take burning questions from brands, media buyers, and audio curious and break it down with real talk, smart strategy, and maybe even a hot take or two. Ready, Kiki?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so we get this question all the time. Are CPMs, cost per thousand, really the most important thing when buying podcast media?
I mean, that's a great question. Let's be honest. Everybody is always after the lowest CPM. But as you know, Lara, the lowest CPM or price doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the best performance.
So then what really does matter? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, it's about alignment and engagement. You can land a bargain CPM, but if the host isn't the right fit and they don't have a loyal audience or an audience that is engaged, it's not going to drive results. I would always choose a higher CPM if the talent is the right fit for the brand and they have that loyal, engaged audience, because that's where you're going to be able to move the needle.
So high CPMs can be worth it?
Absolutely. I mean, when you invest in the right voice that has that trusting, loyal audience, you're buying their credibility, you're buying the conversion. It's worth every penny. Where on the flip side, you can get that bargain CPM or low cost per thousand, and it's with the wrong audience, you're going to have wasted spend because you're not going to have results.
And everyone's always talking about the big names, but what about the smaller shows?
So small to mid-tier shows are often the sweet spot. They bring intimacy, they have scale, and a deep listener connection. For brands, this combo is absolute gold.
And with so many of the top tier shows just getting snapped up by massive brands, it's really getting more difficult for the smaller brands to compete.
Exactly. I mean, that's where direct results comes in. We help brands find those undervalued gems, right? And we carve out a meaningful share of voice in a crowded space for them.
That's absolutely right. So if you're listening and you've ever judged a podcast by just the CPM, there's more to this story.
So much more to the story.
Before we sign off, it's time for our partner highlight of the week. Because here at Direct Results, we buy partners, not programming. People we know who are just as committed to campaign success and to our clients as we are. This week, we're shining the spotlight on the one and only Pat Savage. If you know, you know. Pat Savage is the king of finding the right fits, of going above and beyond for us and for our clients. Just always there to lend a helping hand. So I want to give a big shout out. Kirsten and I both want to give a big shout out to Pat Savage. Thank you for being such an invaluable partner.
Yes, Pat, thank you so much. All right, guys, that's a wrap on our first episode. And if you stick with us each week, you're going to get more behind the scenes strategy, smarter questions to ask your media partners, and maybe a few industry myths busted along the way.
That's right. Thanks for tuning in, and drop your questions and comments below. Your question may just get featured on an upcoming episode of Unmuted.
Stay
Stay unmuted.
unmuted.